Welcome to the League of Nerds comic book segment number 171. I'm John Cooney here to talk to you about comics released the 29th of April 2015, beginning as usual with my first five, meaning these are the first 5 books I intend to read this week, and I'll give you a little more depth on them, starting with at number 1, Invincible number 119. Mark and Eve take their daughter to the emergency room on an alien planet, which is all kinds of trouble. How long will Mark's domestic life be allowed to continue? Trouble is brewing worlds away. Series writer Robert Kirkman spoke about writing Invincible on the Stuff Said podcast.
No, I mean, one thing that I will say about my career is I have learned to write while writing in the public eye. Like, if you look at my work, like, I do feel like when you look at early issues of Invincible versus stuff now, and it's like, oh, this holds together better, and it seems like he's setting things up more. And so back then I was just like, I don't know, this is cool.
He also compared the plot of Invincible to The Walking Dead.
It's definitely a different kind of story because it's a superhero thing, so there's different stuff going on. But I try to avoid plot at all times. So.
I mean, it sprawls much more than Walking Dead. Walking Dead is very contained within the experience of these characters.
Yeah, I guess the story of Walking Dead in my head is like a little bit more linear. It's like a group of characters like going on an adventure, and Invincible is a little bit more like a web.
At number 2, we have Batman number 40. The finale of Endgame is here. Batman risks everything against the Joker. Who will laugh last? Series writer Scott Snyder discussed the end of Endgame and the changes it brings. Quote, literally, when Endgame ends, it will have changed the Bat mythology in a huge way. When we pick up again in June, I think you'll be stunned to see how far we're taking it in that regard. Close quote. He also said, quote, I'm not going to spoil it specifically, but I can tell you unequivocally it is the boldest, weirdest, biggest thing we've ever tried on the book. I'm not being hyperbolic. You'll see it and you'll be like, I can't believe they're doing that. Close quote. He went on to say, quote, I pitched Greg this thing. If we do Endgame the way we're going to do it, it's going to change everything. A transformative story that ends and burns down everything and starts something brand new. We toyed with calling it All New Batman afterwards because it's so different. Greg was just like, I'm up for it. Let's do it. Let's surprise them. Give them what they don't know they want. I was like, all right, let's do it. What we're doing in June, I hope fans like it. I love it. My favorite stuff is the stuff where we take the biggest risks on the book. I honestly think this might be our best thing in concept so far. Close quote. At number 3 and 4, we've got Avengers number 44 and New Avengers number 33, both with the same solicit. Final issue, time runs out. This April, the Avengers and the Illuminati face down their final hours. The clock is winding down and the final incursion is upon us. Superstar writer Jonathan Hickman, along with blockbuster artists Mike Deodato and Kev Walker, bring to a close the epic saga of the Avengers, the Illuminati, and a Marvel universe on the brink of extinction. The incursions from parallel Earths from other dimensions have taken their toll on our heroes, and the battle-worn Avengers stand ready to face utter decimation. Before the highly anticipated Secret Wars begins in May, close out Jonathan Hickman's epic Avengers and New Avengers saga with these 2 oversized final issues. What changes await Earth's mightiest heroes? Be there when time runs out this April in Avengers 44 and New Avengers number 33. Writer Jonathan Hickman explained about the conclusion building into Secret Wars, quote, there was never any guarantee that Marvel was going to completely buy into this. Nobody pitches a story that ends with, and then at the end, 3 years from now, everyone is going to be writing some version of my book. That's silly. We did always know that it could be a big thing, and editorial, publishing, and marketing all realized pretty early on that we could do this big and right and do the idealized version of it. Then, as we got further and further along, 1, everybody got on board, which they didn't have to do and I sincerely appreciate. Then 2, we got so pregnant with it we had to have a baby. The concept of it was always, let's do something like Age of Apocalypse line wide, but based around the Secret Wars concept, so everybody bought in, close quote. At number 5, we've got Justice League number 40, the prologue to this summer's upcoming Justice League event, the Darkseid War. It's been building since Justice League number 1. Now Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, The Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, and the rest of the DC Universe will come face to face with the 2 most powerful and dangerous entities in existence when both come for Earth. But why? To what lengths would the Justice League have to go to survive, and what secrets about the League will be revealed? Series writer Jeff Johns explained the transition to the Darkseid War. Quote, we really want to kick it off with a bang. We're putting everything we have into it, but it starts in Free Comic Book Day, I'd say. Issue number 40 sets some of it up, and then Free Comic Book Day is kind of the revelation of what it's really about, close quote. Series artist Jason Fabok added, quote, "I think both books are going to have people really talking and speculating. Then we're going to give them a nice long wait as Convergence goes on. There will be lots of questioning on where we're going with this, but there's going to be some pretty cool payoffs ahead with this whole thing," close quote. Johns responded, quote, "I'm really excited about it because I think everything's lined up. The fact that on the surface it looks like it's just a war between the two biggest villains ever, it's about much more than that. It's a much more personal story to the League and one of the members in particular that we're going to reveal. It should be a lot of fun," close quote. Rounding out the top 10 at number 6, we've got Multiversity number 2. Every event in the history of the DC Universe has been leading to this. The final chapter of the greatest adventure of all time is here. Issue number 1, artist Ivan Reis reteams with mastermind Grant Morrison to end the Multiversity and bring together the greatest and bravest heroes of the DC Multiverse to fight one last battle. But more than just some cabal of supervillains, they face the greatest evil that ever existed. An evil so massive they actually may not stand a chance. Who are the Mystic Justice League of Earth-13, and what role does their leader, Super Demon, play in the crisis rising all around them? What shocking secret motivates the dark nightmare henchman known as the Gentry? And what is the final fate of Nyx Wotan, the super god? You cannot miss this final stunning chapter of Grant Morrison's ultimate superhero epic. At number 7, we've got Daredevil number 15. An old foe makes a surprising return. Daredevil must make harder choices, but is he going off the deep end? Also, Daredevil's got nothing on Kristen McDuffie. At number 8, we've got Princess Leia number 3 of 5. Leia's mission leads to the underground world of Solist. The Empire's forces are on her trail and gaining. Join the galaxy's toughest princess on a quest to save her people. At number 9, we have Convergence number 4 of 8. Inside Skitaris, the heroes of Earth 2 must face the only man who can stop them from finding the missing time travelers, but why would Travis Morgan, aka the Warlord, want to kill them? Meanwhile, Telos takes the captive Dick Grayson to several of the battling cities to prove the futility of challenging him. And whatever you do, do not miss the final page, as the surprising return of an unexpected villain could crush all hope for salvation and seal the doom of everyone on the planet. At number 10, we have Convergence Detective Comics number 1, starring the heroes from Crisis on Infinite Earths. Helena Wayne and Dick Grayson fight side by side in memory of Bruce Wayne as they decide who will become the next Batman. Alright, similar to previous weeks, all of the Convergence tie-ins for this week have the same solicit introduction, starring heroes from Crisis on Infinite Earths. So for the best of the rest from DC Comics, we've got Convergence Action Comics number 1 of 2. Superman teams up with Power Girl, but can they stop a nuclear strike by Lex Luthor and Stalin of Red Sun Moscow? Next we have Convergence Blue Beetle number 1 of 2. Hub City is on the brink of collapse and anarchy, but its heroes, Blue Beetle, Captain Atom, and The Question, find inspiration and strength from a most unlikely source. We've also got Convergence Booster Gold number 1 of 2. Trapped with Rip Hunter and the other time travelers, Booster Gold and his future self must work together to get out of prison and off the planet. Next we have Convergence Crime Syndicate number 1 of 2. The Crime Syndicate's absolute control over their city of a bygone era comes crashing down when Superwoman is on death row while the rest of the team fights the 1 million universes Batman and Superman. We also have Convergence Infinity Inc. number 1 of 2. The young heroes of Infinity Inc. must choose between the path set for them by their parents or the one they've set for themselves as they face post-apocalyptic Jonah Hex. Next we have Convergence Justice Society of America number 1 of 2. Older and in full retirement under the dome, members of the Justice Society get the chance to regain their youth to stave off forces from the Cord universe, but the promise of youth comes with a deadly price. We've also got Convergence Plastic Man and the Freedom Fighters number 1 of 2. You have to see this story to believe it. Plastic Man and the Freedom Fighters are on the gallows in a New York City taken over by Nazis when robot superheroes attack from Future's End and enemies become allies. Next we have Convergence Shazam number 1 of 2. It's Shazam vs. Steampunk as the world of Gotham by Gaslight takes on the Captain Marvel family and friends. We've also got Convergence World's Finest Comics number 1 of 2. Read the most unusual tale in all of Convergence. The 7 soldiers of victory regroup to defend their city against the Cord invasion, while cartoonist Scribbly Gibbet transcribes their adventures. And we've got Superman number 40. The spotlight shines on John Romita Jr. as he goes solo to tell the story of the testing of Superman's new power against the Justice League, but the appearance of an unexpected enemy could end the Man of Steel's life. From Marvel Comics, we've got Fantastic Four number 645. The most controversial Fantastic Four story concludes in an extra-sized special. Will the Fantastic Four defeat the Quiet Man and the corrupted forces of the Heroes Reborn universe? Will Johnny get his powers back? Will Reed and Sue be a family again? Will this be the end, or will this be forever? Next, we have Moon Knight number 14, a new chapter that brings the horror and insanity of Moon Knight to new heights. Mysterious wolves are threatening the Knights in New York City, and it's up to Mr. Knight to figure it all out. We've also got New Avengers Ultron Forever number 1, part 2 of 3. The epic Avengers adventure continues when Thors clash. Vision versus Vision to the death. The strangest Hulk out of all. The Loki of the 25th century. Ultron makes his move, but does Dr. Doom have something even worse up his metal sleeve? Next, we have Nova number 30. Hot out of the Black Vortex crossover, Nova is back on Earth, but problems have followed him back to Earth, and this arc will test Sam more than anything ever has before. We've also got S.H.I.E.L.D. number 5. Someone's been gun-running magical weapons into the Marvel Universe, and now S.H.I.E.L.D. is under siege by a mysterious threat that can't be cataloged or classified, and against which S.H.I.E.L.D. super science is useless. Guest starring Scarlet Witch. Next, we have Silk number 3. Silk versus Black Cat. Not looking good for Miss Moon. Silk's been picking at the edges of Black Cat's operation, and Felicia Hardy has had about enough. Plus a last-page appearance by some very familiar folks. We've also got Silver Surfer number 11, Never After, special oversized issue. Trapped in time, lost in space, with alien threats forever on the attack and paradise just outside his reach, what terrible price will the Surfer pay to fulfill his most selfless promise? A twist on a sci-fi classic that could only be told through sequential art. Forget sideways issues and silent issues. Slott and Allred are bringing you a modern-day Marvel comic you'll be talking about for years to come. Next, we have Spider-Man and the X-Men number 6. Spider-Man trapped in the clutches of one of the X-Men's greatest foes. All betrayals, deceptions, and misunderstandings revealed. And a shopping mall gets totally wrecked. 'Cause why not? We've also got Superior Iron Man number 8. A phantom from Tony's past is back to haunt him. It's Iron Man versus Iron Man, but who or what is in Tony's old armor? And we've got X-Men number 26, the conclusion of Ms. Marvel creator G. Willow Wilson's first X-Men tale, The Burning World. Investigating mysterious natural phenomena in the Black Rock Desert, the X-Men have discovered something monstrous that has ties to their own past. Reliving history, can the X-Men find a way to win the day this time around, or are they doomed to make the same painful mistakes? From Image Comics, we've got Alex plus Ada number 14, Run. And we've got They're Not Like Us number 5, An Angel Gets His Wings. Out in trades this week, we've got The Walking Dead Volume 23 trade paperback. The new era of peace and prosperity is interrupted by a new type of enemy, one that travels amongst the walkers, one that will turn whispers of their appearance to screams. Collects The Walking Dead number 133 to 138. And we've got Spider-Verse hardcover. When the evil inheritors begin exterminating the Spider characters throughout the multiverse, every single Spider-Man ever is needed to save the day. An interdimensional spider army gathers to fight Morlun and his deadly family, but none of them is safe as the prophecy comes to fruition. What will this brutal war for survival mean for Peter Parker and the rest of the Spiders? Starring the Superior Spider-Man, the Ultimate Universe's Miles Morales and Jessica Drew, Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Woman, Silk, Kane, Scarlet Spider, MC2's Spider-Girl, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Man 1602, Spider-Ham, Spider-Monkey, Lady Spider, Spider-Punk, Spider-UK, a Spider-powered Gwen Stacy, and hundreds more from the beloved to the obscure. Collects Amazing Spider-Man number 7 through 15, Superior Spider-Man 32 and 33, Spider-Verse 1 and 2, Spider-Verse Team-Up 1 through 3, Scarlet Spiders 1 through 3, Spider-Woman 1 through 4, Spider-Man 2099 6 through 8, and material from Free Comic Book Day 2014 number 1. Okay, so that's just a few of my favorite books out this week. There's still plenty of others available, and I broke out all the Marvel titles this week in their own video, as well as a separate video for all of DC, and even a video with the top independent publishers. You can find them all on my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com. And we'll also have links up on the leagueofnerds.com, our Facebook page, so be sure to like us there too. And of course, you can follow everything I'm reading on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find links to everything in the About section at he'sgotissues.com. And a reminder that both He's Got Issues and the League of Nerds are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.